So now we're diving into, I guess these are kind of, it's like some of these are apps, but a lot of this is ArcGIS Online based. This is something, again, I wish I had known about when I was working at the county. A lot of these solutions actually were available and have been available for many years, but a lot of people don't know about them. These are all free industry-specific solutions or configurations for ArcGIS. Right now, we have over 450 available to you to download. And again, they are all free. They go into different industries and sectors. So they have one for planning departments. But Harry's actually going to dive in and go through a demonstration right now to show you how you can kind of take advantage of this website. He's going to show you some examples of solutions, as well as the very, very, very important solution deployment tool. So back to you, Harry.
Thank you, Madeline. So you all have pens and papers. If I can get you to write down this website, solutions.arcgis.com. That's the location you go to begin to explore those 450 apps. And we're going to continuously add apps to this every quarter. What I want to show you is some tips on how to navigate this website. So first of all, what we've done is we've grouped all of our apps into different categories. So categories such as local government, emergency management, water, gas, and so forth. So as you scroll down on the page, you can look at each one of those groups. So for our local government, we have these subcategories. So we have apps that pertain to planning and development, apps that pertain to election, and even health and human services. So if I click on elections, what I'm brought to is the gallery of all the apps that Esri creates that pertains to elections. So here we have our locate voting centers, our find a polling place. We even have an app about redistricting. So once the 2020 census is completed, you can use this app to help with redistricting. So browsing through the categories is one way to do it. But there's also another way. If you click on the gallery tab, this allows you to search all of those 450 templates. So if I type in performance, now I'm only going to be shown the solutions that pertain to performance. And here's one called performance management. So let's go ahead and try it. What we've done is we've created several different examples of this performance management dashboard so that we can look at what the configuration of this app would look like. So let's look at the gallery. So we can look at performance in culture, economic opportunity, health and environment, and so forth. We'll look at economic opportunity. And we'll see a dashboard that's been completely configured with data sets. You can deploy this exact same dashboard, its look and feel inside of your organization. And it's even already configured to do things such as update based upon what polygon you've selected. So here we see District 3. In District 3, we see that the unemployment rate is 3.8, and the color is red for the notification because we want to be at 3.1 or below. We also see the graduation rate is at 92%. We want 95. If we go to another place, such as Hunter Wood, we can see all the charts update dynamically depending upon what polygon is selected. We even see things such as the history of the home value. So here in 2013, we see it was about 415,000, and then it's jumped up to about 421,000 in this particular area. Now, all this data for the demographics and the housing actually comes from Esri, by the way. So if you want to take this and deploy it in your organization, how do you do that? Well, you use the solution deployment tool. This is an extremely important tool to understand. If you search for solution deployment tool, that's how you'll find it. It's an add-in to ArcGIS Pro. And with this add-in, it automatically deploys the maps, the apps, and the feature layers into your organization. It doesn't matter if it's ArcGIS Align or your enterprise portal. I've already taken the time to download and install this in Pro, and this is what it looks like. Under the Share tab, you get this new button called Solution Deployments. When I click that button, I'm presented with a new task. The second step in that task is to choose the solutions that I want to deploy. Now, because I am logged into an ArcGIS Align account, that's where those solutions are going to be deployed. So if I search for voting, here are the early voting, the polling place location maps and apps that we saw earlier. If I search on performance, you'll see the performance management dashboards as well. But Esri doesn't make just maps and apps. We also make other tools that you can have inside of ArcGIS Pro. So if I search for crime, you'll see here that there is what we call a desktop application template. All that really means is you get a new ribbon inside of Pro if you deploy this. And I've already taken the time to deploy this. And what it's given me is this ribbon right here. Now, there's something really important I want you to understand. The majority of buttons on this ribbon come out of the box with Pro. Esri sat down with a lot of crime analysts and figured out what their workflow is. And all we did was create a brand new ribbon based upon their workflow. And I hear this a lot from users, that they don't like going to all the different ribbons in Pro when they do their job. Well, that's fine. Make your own ribbon and drag and drop your own buttons on there. That's for your workflows. That's exactly what we've done here. So what we're looking at here is some precinct data, as well as some 2018 arrest data. Now, this arrest data is interesting. We see information such as the address when the arrest happened, the date and time, also the person arrested, and the offense description. What I would like to do, though, is begin to analyze this data by enhancing the attributes. And I want to extract what we call the date parts. So there was one field that had the entire date and time in there. I'm going to now add new fields directly to this layer for each of these components of the weekday, the hour, the month, and so forth. And this tool, by the way, it's already inside of ArcGIS Pro 2.3. You can use this today to begin to separate out date time fields. Let's look at the attribute table now. So we see here at the end of the attribute table, we now took that one date time field and broke it up into a Wednesday, the hour, and the month, and so forth. So this tool is very powerful to begin to look at data that has time on it. One of the other tools that I want to show you is the select by date and time. So we'll make a new selection, and we can use a single date field as well. And I can select all the arrests that have happened on a particular day, such as the weekends, and run that selection. So there are all the arrests that have happened on the weekends. Now, if I want to specify specific days, such as Thursday night college night and Friday night happy hour, I can run that as well, and it's going to update that selection. Now, what's great about this tool is you can combine multiple types of selections. So I also want to select by date and time. So in this case, I want to find all arrests that happened after 6 p.m., but prior to 3 a.m., only on Thursdays and Fridays. And there they are. Now, we can continue to look at more ways in which we do our selections, but there's one final one I want to call out, and that's select by date. We have our typical date range and single date, but we also have this recency. So I want to select all arrests that have happened within, say, 90 days of today. It's using my time stamp on my laptop to find that. And now you can see that we've really reduced the amount of arrests based upon that. And these are just some of the ways that crime analysts begin to look at data and look at arrests as well as other pieces of information. So let's look at some of the other analysis that can be performed with this solution. What we have here is 5 locations where cars were stolen. I want to connect the dots. This is called incident sequencing. So our input features are the cars that were stolen, and we're going to sort them by the reported date of when they were stolen. And what we've built into this tool is each point will be connected, and we're going to add new markers to show you the order in which the cars were stolen. So here we go. We can see that the first car was stolen in the center portion of Naperville, and then number 2 and 3 were in the southern portion, and then 4 and 5 were back up in the northern portion of Naperville. So this is the incident sequencing tools. One of the other analytical tools that is included in this solution is what we call incident paths. I've heard this referred to as spider diagrams before. And basically what we want to do is connect the dots based upon where the vehicle was stolen and where it was recovered. And we're going to connect them with what we call the case ID, and then run that analysis. For crime analysts, this tool is used a lot to understand the patterns of someone committing crimes or the overall view of crimes being committed. So in this case, what we're looking at is a lot of cars in the central portion of Naperville are taken to the southwest. This is generally indicative of a chop shop. Cars are stolen, cut up, and sold. Whereas if we look in the northeast portion and we see this car was stolen and dropped off fairly close by, this is generally somebody stealing a car and going for a joyride. So what I really wanted to draw your attention to in this demonstration was that we are creating these solutions for known workflows. We're going to continue to create them. And you have to go to the website to peruse through all of them. But once you do that, it's the solution deployment tool, which allows you to publish those directly to your organization. So Madeline, there you go.
All right, thanks, Harry. So you got to see kind of just a quick taste of what those solutions can do for you, but definitely take a look and see if there's any workflows on there that can help you in the future. I do want to make one quick addition and say that while we were focusing a lot on the 2D side of things just now, we do have 3D solutions. And this can actually be a really great way to start to bring 3D to your organization because they do have step-by-step walkthroughs on how to use the 3D data, create 3D content, and that sort of thing. So we have the 2D solutions and 3D solutions on that website.